We're back for another episode of the Hashtag Show as we get to the tail end of what has been a horrible week for Scottish people. Temperatures so warm you have to scrape your bollocks off the bed sheets every morning before you go to work. And because it's Scotland, even the ladies have to scrape their bollocks off their beds. We are a couple of weeks on for an election. What has changed? Bugger all. Apart from information on what is possibly the most embarrassing embezzlement case ever seen in national politics. Couple of weeks away for the World Cup. Susan Boyle's got a new haircut. Iran's still at war. Russia's dropping drones on fucking Romania now. It's all kicking off. But hey, one thing is constant. The Hashtag Show's back for another week of your wholesome, family-friendly podcast. Why can I not say family-friendly? Because I know I'm telling lies. This is the Hashtag Show. Welcome to the madness.
Welcome to the Hashtag Show. Everyone's welcome, no one is safe. Welcome to the Hashtag Show. Winter is coming, but we hate snowflakes. Welcome to the Hashtag Show. Chucky Allah, we are the people. You should become a hashtag hero. You should become a hashtag hero. You should become a hashtag hero. The Hashtag Show.
Welcome back to the Hashtag Show. Getting tangled up in my own cables. Already we're off to a chaotic start. It's a solo episode. It's going to be angry. I've tried to start off with joy and love and compassion. Every time I come into the studio, I have to walk past the yoga people. I try and read some of the Zen fucking bullshit words that they've got written on the wall, like peace and serenity and love and flow. And then I get up here and I go, what the fuck are they talking about? What are these people talking about? Maybe we need to conduct a live yoga class. Maybe, I mean, what is yoga? There's the first question. What actually is yoga? Has anybody been? Because here's the thing, right? I haven't been to yoga. As I imagine, many people who listen to this podcast have not been to yoga. Is yoga some secret club that we don't know about? Where we think they're all in there breathing and farting, but secretly they're doing lines. Is that really what yoga is? Big fat lines of Charlie and panpipe music? How did you go on the day with your downward dog? Because this is the thing about yoga. Every stretch is even called a stretch, or is it called a position? Every move they make has got a fucking mental weird name. The downward dog, the rising wolf, a lot of animal-based stuff in yoga. In fact, what's that? Look, again, we're doing this off the cuff. You know, there are notes on the board. It says Murrell, World Cup, Susan Boyle. That's what's on the agenda today. 3 of the hardest hitting topics of debate currently in the world of Scotland. Peter Murrell, the World Cup, and Susan Boyle. I mean, what else do you need? That's really all. It should be 24-hour news. Should be covering those 3 topics. What the fuck are the SNP up to? What's going on in the World Cup? And who done Susan Boyle's new haircut? Because let me tell you this. I don't know what's going on with Subo, but she's gone full Karen. Now, I don't know because she's big in America. She's out over there. Maybe they fund something to deal with autism. Or she's going through some kind of fucking reconstructive surgery. I don't know what's happening. Maybe she's got her hole. Maybe Susan Boyle has been out in America and she's met another wee autistic person and the two of them have fucking made sweet autistic love. I don't know what's going on, right? She's been sitting at home watching all the constant adverts on Channel 4 for that bullshit fucking drama they're trying to push you where some woman falls in love with a priest. Who cares? Who cares? Right? It's 2026, for God's sake. If you want real drama, just watch what's going on in Scottish politics. That's drama for you. I'm sitting at home, every time I turn Channel 4 on, they're trying to push this fucking... I don't even know what it's called. I don't even know what it's called. What is it called? What is it called? That's probably a good thing. Oh, God, technology's not working. Channel 4, drama, nun, loves priest, pumping. Maybe don't put pumping. It's called Falling. Who cares? Jack Thorne's first love story when devout nun Anna and Catholic priest David fall in love with each other. Who cares? Is this high drama in 2026? See if you're listening to this and you're a nun. I'll be very fucking surprised. But see if you're listening to this and you're a nun, right? A nun. Anon. If you're listening to this and you're a wee nun and you're like that, sitting in the nunnery, well, the other nun's gone, I tell you what, here, you seen the fucking rosary beads on that new priest, Sandra? What a fucking writing he'd get. Let me tell you that much. See if I wasn't married to God, I'd fucking pump his mouth and pedal his ears, let me tell you. I'd ride that boy and I'd be saying my Hail Marys, let me tell you that. See if you are a nun and you find yourself fucking wanting a priest, here's what you do, right? You don't need to go into a big existential crisis about, but God and my love for the church. Just become a proddy. Case closed, problem solved. There you go, right? We don't need a fucking 6-part, 8-part, 9-part, whatever the fuck it is, because I'll not be watching it. We don't need a long, drawn-out story on Channel 4 that nobody cares about. Become a fucking Protestant. There you go, right? A branch of religion invented because the king wanted another wife and you're losing your fucking knitting about wanting to pump a priest. Who cares, Channel 4? I don't. Right? Bring back good telly. Bring back old-fashioned television. And not old-fashioned TV remade for the modern fucking hipster, easily offended bullshit. I'm talking old-school classics, man. Bring back a generation game where people used to get hurt and there was a wee bit of the old fucking mild racism that started, right? Bring that back. Fort Boyard. You're telling me we couldn't dig up Melinda Messenger? Put another couple of CCs and A bad boys and get her back on Channel 5. Fort Boyard. Now we're talking. But I've got to sit and watch a drama, which I won't be watching, about a nun that fancies a priest. Who cares, man? There's wars going on. Diesel's still £1.93. I don't care. Huh? Why don't you do a drama about the fucking Strait of Hormuz and how we can get boats through it? Why don't you do a drama about the fucking Chinese coal mine collapsing? I'd watch that. I don't care about a show that is a nun falling in love with a priest. Right? Go to confession and just say, listen, I'm wanting to ride the absolute out of that priest. I'm not a proddy. And off you pop. We don't care. This is a good advert for the Church of Scotland, isn't it? Are you a nun? Want to pump you a priest? Church of Scotland. We don't give a fuck. That could be the new slogan for the Church of Scotland. Church of Scotland. We don't give a fuck. As long as it's no wains. Welcome to the Church of Scotland. You can pump who you want, as long as there's no wains. That's it. Right? So if I'm writing that drama, there you go. Right? Your first 10 minutes, establishing the nun, establishing the priest. You know, she's fucking, what a bit of gear he is. Bang, you're a proddy. Sorted. Move on. Right? And then this, decades of Catholic guilt. Alright? Don't need to go and flog yourself. Say 50 Hail Marys, put the fucking mad hanger on your leg and dig it into your skin. Don't need to do that. Right? You just need to learn the words It's simply the best, and you can go and pump who the fuck you want, as long as no wins. Anyway, this is the hashtag show. Welcome. Off on tangents already. We're off long, wistful walks down Tangent Street. So, what we need to talk about this week, I don't even know why I got into that. I got on that because I'm angered. I cannot watch anything I put on Channel 4. I'm just seeing constant adverts for this thing, and I'm like, get away from me. It's not happening. So, yes, this week there's been a lot happening. There's been a lot happening. I am utterly embarrassed by the... Now, I just want to make sure that this is recording. It's recording. Thank God. The Peter Murrell stuff is out. He has pleaded guilty to the embezzlement charges, and I want to say two things. One, why is everything that we do in Scotland so fucking shit? Answer me that. Why is everything that we do, anything that is produced right now from Scotland, is fucking garbage? And why is that? Explain to me. We used to lead the fucking globe, the world. They talk about the British Empire. Let me tell you this, sweetheart. See, if it wasn't for the fucking Scots, you'd have had no fucking empire. So why is it now that everything we do is subpar bullshit? Because when I heard that the embezzlement charges had come out, there was a part of me that was a little bit excited. I thought, finally, the SNP is now a real political party. They're no longer a bunch of activists that have gathered together for an independent Scotland and went off on a fucking merry crusade to separate the countries and try and build a better Scottish future. I am all for that, fully on board. I was a yes man then. I'm probably a yes man now. I was fully on board, and we got derailed by a hijacked no vote, and then we went down the tangent of let's start fucking manipulating Waynes and telling guys they can shit the women's toilet. We went a wee bit crazy, as you do, right? Sometimes you go off the rails. If you've not got somebody to pull you back in, you go a wee bit daft, and that's what the SNP did. They consumed themselves. Now we find ourselves in a position where there's embezzlement charges, and I thought, finally, a real political party full of corruption, greed, narcissism, backstabbing, lies. Finally, we are like the Labour Party in Westminster. Finally, like, dare I say it, we're like the Conservatives. A good bit of corruption in our midst. Finally, we can now say, after all these years, we are a real political party. And then it comes out that the fucking bastard has basically embezzled the coffee money. That's it. Now, I can't be the only one who, when those figures came out, went, what the fuck is this bullshit? I thought he had embezzled millions. Tens of millions. Hundreds of millions. I thought he had fucking islands. I thought maybe he was secretly trying to buy Millport. Who knows? I thought he'd been siphoning money left, right and centre. £400,000. £400,000. Now, is it a crime? Yes. Should he go to prison? I don't really care. I don't fucking care. All right? Because I'll say it on another point, briefly. This is money that they have stolen off the campaign funds. See if you're one of the fucking idiots out there who gives money to a political party. Fool you. Fool you, you clown. Give the bastards fuck all. Give them nothing. You want to build a party? You want to build a movement? You pay for it. All right? Because see, when you get any power, you'll soon be spending my fucking money. So you pay for it yourself. 400,000. Let's put that into perspective. The man has embezzled less than what a top Premiership footballer earns in a week. A week! 400 grand. We can't even do embezzlement right. Wait, for some reason, we're now in a position where even our embezzlement cases are shite. I honestly thought it was going to be fucking billions. I thought they were going to sit and say he's put fucking 600 million into this and he's siphoned off money for that. £100,000. It's a lot of money, yes. But is it exciting money? No. Some of you will be sitting in a house that's worth more than that. Peter Murrell's embezzled less money than your house is worth. Some of you will have a mortgage higher than what that fucking cunt has embezzled. Embarrassing. Now, should he go to jail? Possibly yes. Is he a dafty? Possibly yes. But then at the same time, as I'm getting myself worked up here, I'm thinking, possibly should I be Peter Murrell's QC? See if you're married to Nicola Sturgeon, maybe the bastard deserves 400 grand. All right? He's been a lavender husband for a long time. And for those of you who don't know what a lavender husband is,
I've got a question. Is it gay?
The audio in that's no one. Anyway, that was going to be the clip for Is It Gay? But is it gay to be Nicola Sturgeon's husband? Quite possibly. Quite possibly. The problem I have with it is the embarrassing amount that he's embezzled. That's the problem I have with it. Would I rather it was tens of millions? Yes, I would. Yes, I would. Because then I would feel a little bit better about it. Because don't get me wrong, it's a crime. It's a heinous crime. Grow up. But it's a crime, right? He's taking money off the SNP and he spent it. And it's terrible. But at least make it interesting. Make it sexy. Right? Make it fucking sexy. Make it cool. Make it cool, for God's sake. But he couldn't even do that. He had to make it fucking shit. Didn't he? He had to make it a fucking shitty Scottish embezzlement case where it's 400 pissing grand. And then, to make matters worse, we then find out what the fucking dick was spending the money on. And it's just a double fucking shot to the heart. And I'm too late. You give embezzlement a bad name. When I had to pause Sky News because I thought I was either having a stroke or something had gone with my hearing. When they started to rhyme off what this fucking toilet had spent the money on, the shame. That is Scotland's shame. That is the shame of the SNP. Not only... No, this is the guy also who's got fucking access to the funds, right? He's the bank manager. He's the SNP money man. It's not like he's had to go through 3 or 4 different avenues, siphon stuff off, get an elaborate paper trail, fucking blow up hard drives, although I imagine quite a few in the SNP have done that in their time. Pay people off, get money out, set up shell accounts, move money offshore, make it proper fucking like CIA, James Bond shit. Like, it's stuff that you can get excited about. No, he's the fucking guy charging the money. And he's done a Shawshank Redemption. That's what he's done. He's been cooking the books to get his 400 grand off. And unlike crawling through a fucking tunnel of shite, he's been married to Nicola Sturgeon. That's his metaphorical tunnel of shite. He's trying to crawl through her tunnel of shite. For 400 grand. Would you marry Nicola Sturgeon for 400,000? I don't think so. But I tell you something. See, if I was embezzling 400 grand off the SNP, I'd spend it in a fuckload better than this. This is where he's let himself down. Now, see if this came out that it was like fucking coke and hookers. The man may have restored something in himself. Right? He could go off to jail. He could sit there for a couple of years and he would come out knowing that he'll have book deals, fucking movie scripts, podcast invites, everything waiting for him if he embezzled 400 grand in coke and hookers or fucking Thai ladyboys or something exciting. But no, this fucking dick. No Murrell. He didn't even have the forward planning to do that. He didn't even think to himself when he's sitting in the fucking SNP marble ivory tower. Going, right, what the fuck are we up to this week? Safe space for women? Get rid of that. What else have we got? Benefits for immigrants coming in? That's again, push that through. Give me some of that money. That's us. Thank you very much. Cost of living going through the roof. Thank you. I'll take a wee bit off of that. And he didn't sit at that point and go, Peter, there's a chance we're going to get caught here. There's a chance we're going to get caught. So do a one for me, one for you. Do a one for me, one for you situation. Buy what you want and then get something mental. So that when the list comes out, they go, oh, no name of fuck, what is that? Buy a couple of AK-47s. Buy an island. You know, invest money in some weird fucking underground test thing. It's like some fucking CIA-backed militant operation. They'll be like, what in the name of God has he been up to? Fly a drone over Faz Lane. Do something. Do something exciting. So that when we read about it in the news, we go, I tell you what, by the way, that mother was a fucking mentalist. We've not even got that. We've not even got that. Because when the list came out, I was affronted. Now, I know people who can waste money. Let me tell you, you're fucking looking at one. I can waste money like the next man. I don't enjoy the concept of money. I don't like having money. All right? I don't know what to do with it. I want it. I crave it. You know, I've never once in my life ever, I'm going to say liked the idea of fame. I am the least famous person, you know, but I've never wanted to be famous. I have, however, wanted to have a stinking amount of money. It would be great to have money. I would be brilliant at spending money. Honestly, I'm fucking great at spending money. See if you need to get the economy moving. Give me 400 grand. I'll invest it straight back in one day. Brilliant at spending money. Shite at saving it. Shite at doing it. Great at spending it. Right? If you need somebody to blow a shit ton of money in fucking 30 seconds, I'm your man. What's that film? Brewster's Millions, is that it? Where Eddie Murphy's got to spend a shit ton of money and he can't buy certain things. That film would have been 15 minutes. It'd have been a short movie. Right? It could have been a fucking a bedtime story if that was me. Easy fucking money. Can I give it your pals? Can I give it away? Not a problem, sweetheart. Let's go. Much am I spending? 30 million? I'll have that done by fucking lunchtime. Let's do this. So when I read the things, the list of things he's bought, and let's just go through some of them because there is a level of embarrassment here that shows you. It shows you a couple of things, right? And I think a lot of us know this already because you will see people in day-to-day life, especially if you're Scottish. If you're listening to this and you're Scottish, you're a Scottish person who lives in Scotland, you will see these people a lot because there's a lot of drug dealers in Scotland. We have got one of the highest drug death rates in Europe, and the drug consumption in Scotland is utterly terrifying. For a country of our size, there's not a lot anymore that we punch above our weight. There was a time not that long ago when we were leading the world in education, human rights, legal affairs, even agriculture, export, food and drink, tourism, leading the world leaders, engineering, aviation. And now, none of that, but we lead the world in drug consumption and drug deaths. If you are an international junkie, I imagine Scotland's on your bucket list to come here, get out your fucking nut on the broom, and possibly die under an underpass on the Kingston Bridge. That may be on your bucket list. And the way things are going legally, and with our political system, that very much could be the case. I imagine we're probably only a few months away from state-sponsored drug trips where we bring over our European junkie friends and let you OD and what will be the new George Square. I imagine that's coming very soon. But if you are a Scottish person living in Scotland, you will probably have seen, know, or live close to a drug dealer. And what that will show you is that money can't buy class. All right? Class is something that you're born into. Now, you can, in theory, marry up, or you can also, in theory, work your way up the class levels with your level of income or the job that you do. However, you will only move up the class systems on paper. You will never actually physically be able to move up the class systems. Some of you listening to this, a bit confused. We are working class. All right? Let's be honest. If you're listening to this, you're working class. You might be listening to this going, not me, Gibbo. I am middle class. I've got a caravan in Craig Tara and a timeshare in Mallorca. You are working class. I know that you think you could go and you get maybe a couple of grand in the bank. One of your wages maybe goes to a private school. That's fine. You're working class. All right? Because the real middle class and the pals who you've got who are real middle class will still have you in their phone as the fucking working class junkie scheme rat. That's the way it is, right? Money cannot buy you class. It can buy you a better standard of living. You can move into a nicer scheme. You can have all the fancy things you want. You can sell as much brown as the junkies of Scotland can fucking consume. Fine. But you'll never work your way up the class system. So money can't buy class. And we see that. You know, you'll drive through any fucking estate in Scotland and it'll be horrific house, horrible block of flats. Somebody got stabbed there last week. Somebody got shot there last week. Somebody got robbed there the fucking week before. The shop's been set on fire about 8 times. And then all of a sudden, out the blue, like a mirage, you'll see 3 fucking BMWs or a couple of Range Rovers in a beautiful house with a landscape front garden. You'll be like, I wonder who lives in there. The drug dealer. The drug dealer. Right? The lobby out, driving the same motors, wearing the same fucking trackies, and Army trainers, and their misses are all wearing, you know, Louis Vuitton shoes and bags. Bullshit, right? You can't buy class, okay? And even though Peter Murrell is from what could arguably be political class now in Scotland, he obviously still has the mindset of a scheme rat. I don't know Peter Murrell's story. I'm not invested enough in this to even Google the man. I don't care. I saw a picture of him on the telly. He looks like Penfold. That's all I need to know. All right? Just to see him walking hand in hand with Nicola Sturgeon, knowing that your wife is a raving lesbian, and you still stay, he's there for the money, right? It's fine. Okay? I get it. That's his fault. There's lavender husbands out there. It's fine. They like to be the house kept men. That's okay, right? Normally it's the other way around. Normally it's the husband that's gay, pretends to be straight. But in this case, it was the wife that was gay, pretending to be straight, until Val McDermott got a hold of her. And then who can refuse Val McDermott, let's be honest. So he's been out embezzling money. That's fine. But what I say is, the stuff he spent it on, embarrassing. So let's just take a look at some of the utter garbage that this man has wasted money on. Now, if this isn't a cry for help, I don't know what is. The luxury motorhome camper van, first of all, screams working class. It screams it. Now, again, there may be some of you saying, Gibbo, we are far from working class and we have a wonderful static caravan or a beautiful motorhome that cost us over £100,000. I'm telling you right now, you're a scheme rat. And what you have to understand is, don't start attributing different ideas to language you don't understand. There is nothing wrong with being working class. There is a power in it because it gives you a unique insight into life. And believe me when I say this, everybody who is in the class above you wishes they were working class, because although you might never have their money or their connections, they will never have your sense of humour. They will never have your banter, and they will never have your resilience or your outlook in life. Now, would you be willing to trade all of that? From this day to that, would you be willing to trade all of that for their money? Yes, you would, but tough titty. That's the fucking hand you dealt with. So I don't care if you've got 120 grand cash to spend in a motorhome. Having a motorhome still makes you a scumbag. All right? And see if you're sitting going like, no, Gibby, my motorhome is a converted Mercedes Sprinter that we painstakingly restored and spent £75,000 cash on to turn it into an all-purpose off-road camper that we occasionally, once every 6 years, take on the North Coast 500, drive it up, park up and stay in a Hilton for the night. Go fuck yourself. All right? Camper van's the first one. Say camper, motorhome. The fucking dick spent £124,500 on a camper van. Now, isn't it ironic, as that woman once sang, that it was probably the camper van that brought the fucker down. Now, I would think that if you are involved in a political party and you are at the coalface of politics, even in a country as small as Scotland where bugger all really happens, let's be honest, and you're living in a shite house and then all of a sudden a 125 grand camper van turns up on your driveway, I think I would be going, what the fuck's that cunt up to? And how has he got the time to be buggering off in a camper? Well, where does Peter Murrell think he's gone? What does he think this is? Does he think this is a modern day Channel 4 drama? Does he think that him and Nicola are taking the camper van away for the day? Jinx, she's coming back for Davos, having her arse felt because she'll no drill for fucking oil in the North Sea. And then she said, do you know what? Let's take the camper up to Inverness for the weekend. That'll be nice, won't it, Peter? And he's like, bloody lovely, hen. Jump in the camper, I'll drive. Is that what the thing's happening? What is going on? What's going on, Peter? Or is it at this point he's just so bored and it's just so easy stealing the money, he's like, fuck it, I'm buying a camper van. Now, would I like the camper van? Of course I would. Am I a working class scumbag? Yes, I am. Give me your camper van, Peter. Is there going to be an auction? Is there going to be an auction here? Are we going to auction this stuff off? What happens? Well, there's an interesting question. What happens with... Because this should be proceeds of crime. Oh, we could be onto something here. Maybe this is how we start rebuilding the economy in Scotland. Easy for you to say, Gibbo. The economy in Scotland. See all these bullshit adverts I keep seeing? Welcome to Prize Guys. 62 pence a ticket and you could win a fucking Ford Ranger in carry bag. Do you live in Scotland? Why don't you join this new fantastic prize company? Only 17.5 pence per ticket and you could win a jet ski. Who in Scotland wants to win a jet ski? You don't need an auction or a prize thing in Scotland where you can win a green card or you can win a European passport. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start my own prize company, right? Where the prizes are your body weight and tablet and a European passport, an Irish passport. That's what I'm going to start, right? It's £16.90 for a ticket and you could win your weight and tablet and an Irish passport. That would be the ultimate prize. So you don't have to fucking stand in a queue when you come back on holiday. You can proudly wave your Irish passport and fucking breeze through. That would be... That would take off. None of this, do you want to win a car? Do you want to win 100 grand? Win a house? Whatever. Or play the Scotto? None of that bullshit. Buy a ticket and the top prizes are a European, Irish or American passports for you and your family. You'd be fucking off-ski. Or your weight and tablet. No, trust me, there'd be a couple of mentalists out there who would take their weight and tablet. Trust me on that. So he's bought the motorhome. He has also bought a Jaguar I-Pace for around £57,500 with money from the SNP allegedly put towards the purchase. Now, there is a caveat at the bottom of this which says Murrell, because Murrell has pleaded guilty to embezzling more than £400,000 from the SNP, not every individual item reported in the media has necessarily been tested in full trial. Because a guilty plea means much of the evidence was never examined in open court. So what they're implying by that is some of the things that are on this list that they know he has bought could technically be bought with or partially bought with his own money. I suppose you have to bear that in mind. That does not remove from the embarrassment that is some of the shit that he's bought, right? Now, again, see if he just had the foresight to fling in like a couple of fucking, like a pair of suspenders or just some weird 10 blow-up dolls. Just something random. Do you know what I mean? That would be my advice. If there's anybody out there who is currently embezzling, hopefully millions, because 400 grand I still think is an embarrassing amount. But if you are embellishing, I'm so angry I can't even talk. If you're fucking stealing money off your company or anywhere, see for every 2 things that you buy for yourself, buy something fucking mental. Buy something mental. Adopt a snow leopard. give money to an African tribe, buy blow-up dolls, invest in an AI company that only deals with sex toys. Do something crazy so that if you're caught, you can try and do an insanity plea. That'd be my advice to you. If there's anybody out there stealing money, do something mental with it. Because Murrell's just fucking fucked himself. So the arsehole's bought a motorhome, a Jaguar I-Pace and a Volkswagen Golf. Now, none of the three go together. That's just nonsense. A Golf, a Jag and a motorhome. What is this guy doing? What is this guy doing? Expensive watches. One thing that really got me, a Mont Blanc fountain pen worth apparently £4,000. Now, if you have bought a pen for £4,000, you need putting down. That's what you need. That pen should be used to sign for your ticket to Switzerland. When I read things like that, it does make me think that there is another world. The world we live in is different to the world that some people live in. To think that there are people out there kicking about with a £4,000 pen is fucking terrifying. And that's the kind of thing that can get me on board for when people say, eat the rich. Now, when I see stuff like that on these marches, I go, these folk are off or not. But see, when I find out there's country there with a £4,000 pen, I'm like, do you know what? Get me some brown sauce and I'll eat a cunt. A £4,000 pen. Cosmetics and Estee Lauder products. Now, don't know who that's for. Don't know if that's for himself. Don't know if that's for a wee bit on the side. Don't know if he likes to dress up as Patricia and get pegged off of off a Nicola at the weekend. Don't know. Again, if that was the case, I would lead with that because that's a wee bit interesting, right? If we find out that Peter Murrell allegedly likes to dress up in women's clothes and call himself Patricia Murrell and get pegged violently off sturgeon on a campsite in Ayrshire in the motorhome, while he writes out the manifesto of the SNP in his £4,000 Mont Blanc pen. I could get on board with that as an exciting story. But to embezzle 400 grand and spend it in this pish, upsetting. Harrods purchases, very vague there, we don't know. Crystal items, La Creuset cookware. Now, I'm on board with that, Peter. I'm on board with that, right? To be fair, as a man who cooks himself, La Creuset, you can't get better. You can't get better. See if you've got a La Creuset entire set across your kitchen, even with that wee pinch pot for the salt or the old-fashioned butter dish. Oh, come on, Peter. Now you're talking my language, big man. Beautiful. See that? Couple of good cast iron pans. Everything you need. And it'll last a generation. That's the kind of La Creuset. That's the kind of stuff that will be getting passed down. See when you're gone, when you're dead, I'll be getting read out to my favourite granddaughter. I bequeath the La Creuset butter pot. She'll be like, yes, Papa, thank you. He's won me over with that. That's the first thing I've read and I thought, do you know what? So you've had 400 grand. Fucking straight to La Creuset, my man. Nintendo gaming console, boring. Coffee machine costing more than £3,200. Now, what in the actual fuck? A coffee machine costing £3,200. This is the perfect example of, again, money can't buy class. This is if you have spent £3,200 on a coffee machine for your house, you don't know, one, anything about coffee, or two, what things cost. Because let me tell you this, I could fucking get you one of the greatest home setups for less than £1,500. Cash, my man. Cash. So if you're spending $3,200, for that money, you can fucking start a Starbucks franchise. Model, yeah, dick. Designer manicure sets, again, don't know who that's for. That's further playing into the idea that maybe Peter is Patricia. Toilet seats and various household goods. Now, embarrassing. Embarrassing. When was the last time you bought a toilet seat? Probably when you bought a toilet. Is that something that happens when you get money? Do you go and replace your toilet seat? I've never won the lottery, so I've never came into a large sum of money. I've had a couple of good paydays in the past, you know. One where I thought about buying a watch. That was a good payday, and I didn't. Spent it on a holiday, which was also lovely. But I don't know what level of what sum of money do you need to acquire that you suddenly think, let's go out and replace the toilet seats. Now, again, typical journalism. We need more information. What kind of toilet seat is it? Is it a fancy one? Is it a vibey one? Is it get his initials on it? PM. You know? Is it got a photograph of Sarwar's face on it so you can do a pee? I don't know. Well, you wouldn't push the seat. You left the seat up. Tell me about the toilet seat, Peter. A book of speeches by Nicola Sturgeon. Absolute fucking bell end. Why would you buy your wife's book? Why would you buy your wife's book? I mean, what the fuck? You're getting it. What's the point of married to her? You're getting a copy, signed. You'd be like, sign that. Might be worth money one day when this embezzlement comes out and, you know, you leave me for Val McDermott. Get that signed. A parking ticket, which prosecutors allege was paid using party funds. The other one that shot me that isn't in the list is the over £2,000 that he spent on salt shakers. Salt and pepper shaker. Now, again, that is the kind of wanky stuff that people who don't come for money would spend on. You know, that's the kind of wank that somebody who hasn't came from money would spend money on. Over £2,000 a salt and pepper shaker to impress their wanky middle upper class pals. Because they're the only ones that would know that. See if I come in your house and you haven't got a giant novelty pepper shaker that you get in an Italian restaurant, pepper grinder, that would interest me. I'd be like, holy fuck, the size of that pepper grinder. That would excite me. Or the weird sex toy shaped ones that you get out of IKEA. If you've got them, I'd be like, this man's got a bit of class about him. That's the weird dildo ones out of IKEA. Fine. See anything else? Don't care. See if you want me to look at your salt and pepper shaker and go, do you know that is from the La Cruden series? They're over £2,000. He's paid for them. Couldn't give a fuck. Couldn't give a flying fuck. I wouldn't know that. That's a Tory thing. Right? That's a middle class thing. They will crew and go, oh my God, is that the Javier Bardem set of utensils you have? You be like, yes, it fucking is. £6,000 for a 48-piece cutlery set of the Javier Bardems. Bloody magnificent. Don't care. Because if you said to a normal person, I've just spent fucking over £2,000 in a salt and pepper shaker, we'd have you committed. We'd have you committed, Peter. What you tell me, you're taking fucking salt and pepper shakers worth £2,000 into the motorhome? I don't think so. I'm embarrassed by it. I'm embarrassed by all of it. I hope whatever happens to the man, you know, he looks back on this and has it as a learning experience. And I hope that the one thing he takes for this is learn to buy better shit. Learn to buy better shit. That's the way to do it. Because after all this, when you're going to be sitting in the jail, you know, with your £2,000 salt and pepper shakers and your Mont Blanc, you'll say, is it worth it? And you'll be like, no, it's not worth it. However, if you had taken the money and went down to Platinum Lace in Glasgow and went fucking crazy with £100,000, that's a story I could get behind. If it came out in the paper that Peter Murrell was in Platinum Lace and he dropped £100,000 cash on a debauched night of strippers, if I found out that Peter Murrell was using his £4,000 Mount Block pen to autograph his fucking signature on the arse of a stripper in Platinum Lace as he put thousands of pounds cash into her G-string, I could get behind that man and I'd say he is the next leader of the SNP. But he didn't. He spent it on Estee Lauder products and a fucking coffee machine. So, Peter, I don't know what to say to you, my man, other than you fucked up. You fucked up. But who knows? Maybe there's more to the story than meets the eye, although I highly doubt it.
Welcome to the hashtag show. Everyone's welcome. No one is safe. Welcome to the hashtag show.
While we're on and we're talking about embezzlement and spending money that we don't have, why not head over to the Hashtag Show website, the hashtagshow.co.uk, hit the merch tab and buy some bloody merch. Why not? We've got mugs. We've got this delightful Hashtag Show mug here. Look at that, fully printed all the way around. Wonderful. Makes your coffee taste sweeter and your tea taste stronger. From a hashtag mug. Handmade by slave children in China. I don't know if that's true. Does it tell you where it's made? It says sub-blister coating. Don't know. It's actually produced in the UK. I do know that because we only work with accredited partners on Shopify. Whatever that means. I think it means it goes to the lowest bidder, through Printful. Who knows? But anyway, so you can go online, hashtagshow.co.uk, hit the merch tab. There's mugs, there's hats, there's beanies, there's t-shirts, there's a hoodie, the Love hoodie, which I have in the house, which is, do you know what? I'm going to say this. It's actually fucking very good. It's a very comfortable hoodie. It's got that kind of soft lining inside, so when you wear it, it's lovely. So buy it. Hashtagshow.co.uk, hit the merch tab and treat yourself. Why not? And you'll be supporting me and you'll be supporting the show. Right, what else we need to do? We need to do Susan Boyle and we need to do the World Cup.
Welcome to the Hashtag Show. Everyone's welcome. No one is safe. Welcome to the Hashtag Show.
Subo's got a new haircut. Subo has got a new haircut. Now, if I wasn't versed in the world of political dramas, I would think something's going on here. Something's happening that they're trying to divert us from. Because why else would you unleash images of Subo with a new haircut if you're not trying to distract us for something else that's happening somewhere else? That's the tactics they use. It's called a fire sale. When there's something bad happening or there's something going on that you don't want the general public to know about or even waste their time on, you fucking fire hunters of shite out in the media to distract us. So what's going on? What is going on that they have had to use grade A distraction tactics? Somebody is sitting in a dark office in Whitehall going, we're fucked. We are absolutely fucking cooked. What are we going to do? There's a news story coming out that could bring down the government. It could destroy the British political system as we know it. Any ideas? And they've gone on the table and they've said, right, we could launch a story about the fact that we've given France even more hundreds of millions to stop illegal boat crossings. Good idea, but we need something more than that. This story that's coming out is so heinous and horrible, that isn't enough. And some junior minister sitting in the corner, some fucking brave civil servant who's always afraid to speak up, has said, you're not going to believe what's came across my desk this morning. And they've said, what? And he went, Susan fucking Boyle, the People's Prince, has got a new fucking haircut. And they've said, how good or bad is the haircut? And they have said she looks like a fucking mafia boss. And she's also wearing a velour trackie. In the name of fucking God, launch it. That's what's happened. And if you've not seen it, I'll try and put a picture up here, but Susan Boyle has, she's got a new haircut. She's back in the studio, which is great for, I don't know who. Am I a Susan Boyle fan? Of course I am. I enjoy watching videos of people who, struggle with life doing good. And there's nothing better. And there's nothing more Scottish than a mentally ill person singing a good song. Nothing more Scottish than that. And let's be honest, Wild Horses, banger. Absolute banger. I was interviewing William Daniel last week. We've had Mark Sherry in here, Joe Deacon, Scoobs, some amazing DJs. Is there a remix of Wild Horses? Because that should be the new national anthem. We need a trance remix of Susan Boyle's Wild Horses. And that should be played at every major Scottish event World Cup, opening of the Parliament, St Andrew's Day, everything. Somebody, if anybody's got that track, fucking send me it, man, because it must exist somewhere. It must exist somewhere. So Subo's got a new haircut, and apparently she's back in the recording studio. They have managed to find a studio with enough padded walls, crayons and colouring books that Susan Boyle can come in and feel safe. I don't know what is coming out. Could be a new album. The rumours are that she's entering a new era in her life, and it's a different style of music. Could it be heavy rock? Could it be thrash metal? Would you listen to a Susan Boyle thrash metal album? Of course you fucking would. So we're going to have to just wait with bated breath to see what fucking the bold Subo does. But I tell you something, what a time to be alive. What a time to be a Scotsman. We've got Murrell's Embezzlement, the World Cup starting soon, and fucking Subo, the People's Prince, is possibly bringing out a new album. Just when, this is the exact news that we needed coming off the back of a heatwave to give us a little bit of hope moving into what will probably be a non-existent summer, is that Subo's back in the studio. Because this last week has proven that we can't cope. We cannot cope with the heat. Scottish people cannot cope. Scotland cannot cope with this heat. And I know there's a lot of people that are going like, oh, I love the warm weather, and I'm like, I couldn't. No. The best weather that Scotland could have is for it to be just above freezing and very bright sunshine. That's the best weather. And I know you'll say, no, Gibbo, we need the heat and we need to get out. We don't. If you could guarantee you only get heat on a Saturday and a Sunday, fine. But even on a Sunday, I don't know if we want the heat, because you need a day to relax. I tell you what, I'll settle for this. Saturday and Sunday, every Saturday and Sunday, it's fucking blistering 22 degrees in Scotland. Not a bit of rain, sunshine. But come 8 o'clock, the fucking temperature plummets to freezing. That's the perfect day. Because you can still get a sleep, because that's the main thing, right? That's the main thing that fucks up Scottish people. It's not so much the heat, it's the fact we can't get a sleep. We need a sleep. We're nocturnal animals. Scottish people need to sleep, and we need to sleep in cold conditions. We can't cope with this bollocks. You know? And I know they're giving it all, oh, global warming and the earth is heating up and it's on fire. Well, at one point, the whole earth was covered in ice. So when are we going to get back to that? Because that's the bit of global warming that I'll enjoy. When I open the door in the morning and my fucking transit is completely covered in ice, I'll be like, thankfully, this is the type of weather I've been waiting for. When I've got a polar bear walking down my street, I'm like, morning, Mr. Polar Bear. I've been waiting for this time. That's the global warming I want. Right? I don't want biblical rain and high fucking spikes of heat when most of us are out working. Right? If Labour can somehow find a way to have everybody in the country furloughed or back on benefits, fine. If we can find a way that everybody on the UK gets a free house, they pay your mortgage, pay your Sky bill, pay your lecky, and give you $2,000 a month cash. If we could figure out a way to do that, fine. I could cope with this heat. But no, when you're out during the day, knocking your pan in, fucking heavy lifting, lugging stuff, sitting in an office, working in a shop, customer service, whatever it is you're doing in 26, 27, 28 degree heat, we can't cope. We can't cope with it. Bring on the Ice Age. Bring on the Ice Age. The other thing as well, when it gives it all, you know, we're hotter than Monaco this week. I'd rather be in Monaco. Anytime somebody in the news tells you that, whatever place they say, you would rather be in that place. Today, in Govan, it's warmer than Ibiza. I'd rather be in Ibiza. I can assure you there is no one in Ibiza or Monaco. No one has sat on the terraced bar of a fucking 7-star invite Saudi-owned hotel in Monaco, in the Principality of Monaco, overlooking the bay, and 10, 20, 30 million, 100 million, billion-pound yachts being brought in by Rothschild-type fucking slender men, and has sat and went, do you know it's 2 degrees hotter in Govan today? Maybe we should go and buy a pied-à-terre in Govan. Doesn't happen. That is not some kind of comfort to the people of Scotland. If you tell us that nice places where we wish we lived was cooler than what we have, that is not a comfort. That just makes us go, fuck, not only do I wish I was there, I'd actually feel a lot better about being there now because it's cooler than the fucking furnace hell that I have to live through at the moment. So stop doing it. Just stop doing it. You know, stop doing that. And stop people saying, see when the weather's less, you don't need to be abroad. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Because there's somebody ODing next to me in Glasgow Green. I do need to be abroad. And I'm sure you can go to Spain, to Italy, to France, you know, some of the islands. I'm sure you could go there. And there might be somebody ODing next to you there. You could say, Gibbo, it's a global problem. You know, drugs are universal. These things happen abroad as well. And I'd be like, yes, but it'd be ODing in an exotic foreign language. And it would sound more exciting. So, fuck up. I need to be abroad. What have we got here? Michael Jackson film is out. There's apparently a documentary being released as well on Netflix. I saw I suppose you would call it a movement, a post, if you will, asking people if you're a fan of Jacko to cancel your Netflix membership and to use that money to go and buy some of his back catalogue, because apparently the documentary that's coming out is putting him in full pedo mode, claiming that they had secret rooms in Neverland. Now, I've not seen it. It's not out yet. Will I watch it? Probably I will. Probably I will, because there's no much on Netflix to watch these days. I will watch it. And I don't know. I don't know. I'm 50-50. Do I think that Michael Jackson pumped Wayne's? If I'm honest, no, I don't. I'll be honest. I don't think he did. Do I think he did things that were inappropriate? Through some people's eyes, possibly. But I don't think he touched Wayne's or buggered them or got after them. I don't think he done anything like that. I think he may have put himself in situations where normal adults would have felt that it was wrong. But could you say the man was normal? I don't think you could. So, I don't know. And I think all I keep going back to with the whole Jackson thing is I believe Macaulay Culkin, because I think he's quite a sound, pretty cool dude. So, you know, and I'm not just saying that just because he didn't pump Macaulay Culkin didn't mean he didn't pump any other wins. But listen, see if you were going to pump a win back in, you date to Macaulay Culkin. That sexy wee bastard, that I've said. Buy some merch. Again, I wonder why I'm never going to be able to approach a sponsor. Scott, the episode 320 where you say that, you know, if you were going to be a paedophile, you probably would have had sex with Macaulay Culkin. We're going to have to drop our endorsement for that. Hey, buy a mug. Buy a mug. Fucking keep the wheels turning. Right, World Cup is a couple of weeks away now. 11th of June it starts. And I'm keeping this quiet. I say quiet. I'm telling you now. I think we're going to get the groups. I think Scotland are going to get out the groups. I've thought this for a while now, and I'm going to just say this. There's no guarantees in anything, right? There's no guarantees in football. Of course there isn't. But I think we're going to pump Haiti. Pump them. I think it's going to be 3-0. And I think we're going to go in to the Morocco game with confidence. Morocco is... What is the actual... Is the Morocco game second or third? Scotland World Cup fixtures. Haiti, Morocco, Brazil. Right, so Haiti on June 14th, Morocco June 19th, Brazil June 24th. We're going to beat Haiti 3-0. We're going to go into Morocco. I think we are going to beat Morocco 1-0. And I think we're going to draw with Brazil 1 each. I might even go as far to say that I think we might even beat Brazil in top of group. Now, Brazil are not the team of old. Brazil are not the Brazil that we grew up with. They are a different beast. And I think they are there for the taking. From what I have watched and from what I have read on mostly stuff on The Athletic, it feels to me, and again, I'm maybe only saying this because I'm Scottish and it's the hope that kills us, it feels to me as if Scotland are the only team out of those three, Scotland, Morocco and Brazil, that are fully united as a team. I was reading an article in The Athletic and it was talking about disruptions within the Brazil squad, arguments with players, arguments with coaching staff. And I think there is a division there. Now, there could be an argument that, you know, when it comes to the pitch and it comes to the game, they put all that behind them, they turn it on, and they are Brazil at the end of the day. But I just have this feeling that something's going to go different for us this time. And Morocco, after that absolute fucking debacle that was the African Cup of Nations, I think they are rocked by that. I really do. I think if there is ever an argument that there is corruption within sport, the best piece of evidence that you can give is any game or tournament that is the African Cup of Nations. It is, and there may be some of you listening that love it, I think it's the most diabolical waste of time tournament that exists in football. It is an absolute shambles. And if you read anything about that, about the is it the Prince of Morocco, the King of Morocco, the money that was spent, the kind of dark handshakes that were given by FIFA for that tournament to be in Morocco, set up for them to win that going into the World Cup. I think Morocco as a country and as a team are completely rocked by all the carry-on that happened in that final. And I think that if Brazil can beat them in their first game, or there's maybe a couple of decisions that goes against them that they feel are unfair, maybe a few free kicks, maybe a goal, maybe a player getting sent off, I think that will rock them even more. And I think they're there for the taking. And then I think Brazil are there for the taking as well. And if we go through, I'm not 100% sure on what the permutations are, but I think if we finish second in the group even, there's a chance we might get Austria in the next round, depending on where they're fit. And if that's the case, I think they're fucking beating Austria as well. Now, there's also, within the same breath, there's an argument that we get pumped in every single game. And this is the joy of being a Scotland fan. This is the joy of being a Scotland fan. You never fucking know. You never know. Because we could go out there and this could be your year and we get all the way to the fucking semis. Who knows? But I tell you something else. The group stage may be different, but see if Scotland get out that group stage. See that next game. The whole country needs to have the day off. It needs to fucking shut down. This is when we need to get a bit of Scottish pride back and get behind the boys. I've got full confidence in them. I'm very much looking forward to the World Cup. I wish it was just in America. This thing about splitting across between Canada, America and Mexico, I hate it. I would rather it's just in one country. That's the only thing I would change. Either have it in America or have it in Canada or have it in Mexico. One of the three. But this splitting the tournaments pish, I fucking hate it. And I know it's down to money, but I absolutely I hate it. And see if it was America, I wish it was in America and I wish it was in like Boston or like the Northeast. Do Boston, Chicago, New York. Have that. Or have it in the South. Have it in like San Francisco and LA. Have it in don't have it spread across the whole America. That's annoying me as well. It's the only thing that's annoying me about it. I mean, I'm not going to be there. I know two people who are going. I'm incredibly jealous of them. But it'll be brilliant. So, good luck, Scotland. We at the hashtag show believe in you. And let's hope that we don't get embarrassed. Let's hope we fucking pump one team Let's pump Haiti, celebrate a few goals, and, you know, if God is watching, because if there is a God, he's Scottish, let's be honest. Let us get through the groups, man. Let us get through the fucking groups. Please, for fuck's sake, please. Right. Have a great week, everybody. I will speak to you all very soon. Hopefully get some more guests coming in. Thanks, everybody, for the comments on the William Daniel episode. It was great having William in. Great fucking catching up with him. I've not seen him in a while. Brilliant conversation. Hope you enjoyed it. Share it if you can. If you want the episodes and you want to support the show, please become a hero. #show.co.uk. Follow the links or go to Patreon, patreon.com/the hashtag show. It's the best way to support me and support the show and help us continue to get guests in and help with the studio and all the different bits and pieces. So thank you to everybody who listens. Thank you to everyone who has commented on the social posts for sharing it. Please continue to do so. And yes, I will speak to you all very soon. Have a great week. And that's it. Love yous all. Good luck. I'm recording this on a Friday because I'm off to see Ross tonight at the Classic Grand with the Rat Pack, so very much looking forward to that. I will fill you in on that when you're back. And if there are any heroes who are coming along to Classic Grand tonight to see Ross with his band, I will see you there. And should be a good night. Take care of yourselves. Love yous all. I'll speak to you all very soon. Love, love, love. Onwards.
Goodbye, dear hero, it's been a blast. For another week we say adios. If you came as a friend or even foe, then you should become a show as far as you can. 1 million heroes or a lifetime ban. All we do is speak our minds. We hope you're around for the ride. We are the hashtag show. Everyone's welcome. No one is safe. Winter is coming, but we hate snowflakes. Until next time, love, love, love.